Welcome to Season 5 of My Wife the Dietitian, a fun, evidence-based weekly podcast about nutrition and healthy living. On today's show, we're taking a question from a listener with celiac disease. She wants to know if quinoa flakes are a good substitute for oatmeal. Stay with us for all the details. Enjoying the show? You can help others find it and enjoy it too by giving us a 5-star rating or review. If you feel like reaching out to us with a question or comment, you can send us an email at mywifetherd@gmail.com. And don't forget to visit our website at mywifethedietitian.com, as well as our social media pages. We're on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Enjoy the show. Welcome to My Wife the Dietitian. Hello, Sandra.
Hi, Rob.
How are you?
Good. You're funny.
Happy birthday.
Oh, well, yeah. We're recording on my birthday. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, exactly.
And the sun just came out, which is awesome.
The day's just going to get better by the minute.
Oh, yeah. I think April's already looking better. Did you know that the April means to open?
I did not. Well, I mean, you told me yesterday, but before that, no, I didn't know that.
Yeah, in one of the newsletters at a place I work, they said April trivia. It is thought that the name April comes from the Latin word to open and describes the trees opening at springtime.
Now I want to know what the other months stand for.
Right.
That's interesting. Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, it's April is kind of like the start of like birth. It's like everything's
like
starting.
Regrowing. Yeah, you're right. And the flower of April are daisy and the sweet pea.
Oh, just like you.
I didn't mean.
My little
and
sweet
the
pea.
birthstone is diamond.
Oh, well, yes. No surprise there.
Right. Anyways, so thank you for saying happy birthday.
Oh, I remembered.
Well, I'm glad you did.
I know, I was thinking about it all night long. Don't forget.
I'm sure. I don't think you've ever forgotten my birthday.
No, I learned early that if I ever forget your birthday, I'd be in the doghouse for a week. So
is that right?
Yeah. I never did.
You're pretty good with anniversaries too.
I am. No, I'm pretty good with dates and that sort of thing.
Yes, you are.
Because it's fun. I enjoy that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It's fun to celebrate people.
I didn't know you were going to bring it up today, so thank you.
As well. Share with our podcast family here.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, we didn't record on your birthday in February.
No.
I don't think we did.
No, we didn't do anything for my birthday.
No, we did.
No? Well, what's the Latin term for February? See, nobody knows that.
You have to Google it. So I don't have
my
that
birthday,
here.
there was probably a snowstorm or something, and we were shoveling the driveway or...
Maybe.
I don't know. I think we did something fun.
Yeah, we did. We went up Island.
Yes, we did. Yes, we did. Okay, we should talk about something more interesting than our birthdays.
Right. Well, we do have a question from a listener recently.
Oh, yes, we do.
It's a long-time listener who often sends us messages.
Which we love, by the way.
Yes.
Love nothing more than opening my email and it's like, oh, there's an actual person that wants to say something to us rather than someone trying to sell us some silly scam or something. It's awesome hearing from listeners with great questions.
Yes.
And just kind of getting to know some people. It's amazing. So thank you for reaching out.
This one is regarding quinoa flakes. And I want you to read the actual
I'll
question.
sort of paraphrase it. It's a bit of a long question, but she's got celiac and people with celiac are not typically allowed to eat oats because sometimes oats have wheat in them, right? Gluten, sorry, yeah.
What's the actual question?
Well, a friend of hers had said that quinoa flakes down in Australia, her friend from Australia said quinoa flakes, they use those for people who have celiac maybe. And she was wondering if she could try those and how they would compare to regular steel cut oats and what your thoughts were on that.
Great. Okay, good question. So we're looking at the difference between using quinoa flakes for breakfast versus oats.
Versus steel-cut oats, yeah.
Right. And a lot of people, I think, would go, what? Quinoa for breakfast?
Well, quinoa flakes. I haven't even heard of quinoa flakes.
Yeah.
And that's what she said. She said she had to kind of hunt high and low for them, but she found some.
Okay.
Because quinoa is still in its, like, kind of grain form, right? It hasn't been processed into a flake. I mean, that's how we're usually used to seeing quinoa.
That's right. So it's the way it's processed. So the quinoa seed is rolled flat to make a flake.
Right. Okay.
Just like oat groats are rolled to make a rolled oat.
Kind of a similar process to how oats are
cut, rolled,
processed. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. I think a lot of people think quinoa as a side dish for dinner. That's how they make quinoa.
Yeah, exactly.
But actually, even on the quinoa package, I don't know if you've ever seen, they have an idea, like there's a picture of for dinner, like a side dish, like rice instead of rice. And there's also a picture of with fruit on it, like oatmeal for breakfast. Have you seen that?
I haven't seen, well, yeah, maybe I have. I've often thought of that both ways. I've had like leftover rice or some grain in the fridge from last night's dinner, and I thought I could probably eat that for breakfast, like as in like how I would my oatmeal. I'm sure it would be okay. And I've also actually used oatmeal, like my breakfast oatmeal that's left over in the crock pot, as like a savory dish. I'll put something on it like you would rice, like some kind of sauce.
That's because you are a creative cook.
But it's good.
But you think outside the box.
I do,
literally.
yeah. But you can do it. It works, right? It's just because we're used to doing something as a breakfast cereal doesn't mean you can't eat it for lunch in your salad.
I think so many people have very...
like the blinders on when it comes to food.
Like guardrails. Like, oh, I can only have this at this time of day. Or oats are for breakfast, quinoa's for dinner.
Yeah.
Just a lot of people that I talk to, clients, I mean, that's part of the issue. And I see a lot of people with gut problems. We just did an episode on, it was, I think, probiotic quiz, like about the gut health. And I see people that are constantly taking out foods, like restricting and eliminating to help with their gut problems. And what I actually see that helps, and the people that make the transformations in their health and specifically in their gut health, are they're actually adding back.
It's the opposite.
Foods. Yeah.
It's adding more
variety and diversity of the plant foods, because you're feeding the gut microbiome, right? And we talked all about that in the last episode. And I think it's really important to think about how can you add more variety, more diversity. And I love this idea of using quinoa flakes or quinoa as a whole grain. So definitely, I mean, it could be an option for people with celiac that can't have oats, or like they shouldn't have oats. I know in some countries, they recommend not to use oats, even gluten-free oats, because they do have cross-contamination because of where they're grown with the wheat fields beside them.
Right.
So a lot of times, even gluten-free, we don't know for sure. But anyways, and we have a whole episode that we talked to the celiac dietitian Celine DeVries, on celiac and gluten-free living. And we do talk about that. So I encourage listeners to go back to that one. We'll put it in the show notes too. But just a little definition of quinoa from our Food Lovers Companion book here from Sharon and Ron Herbst.
The non-official sponsor of our show.
Yeah.
They don't even know about it. Maybe they do. That'd be interesting. We should interview them on the show sometime. We talk about them enough. That's so funny.
That's funny. So in brackets, it says how you say, because it's spelled, how do you spell quinoa?
With a Q. Quinoa. That's
right.
It's a funny word.
And how do you pronounce it?
It's not quinoa.
That's right.
That's how most people probably read it. And then they hear quinoa, and it takes them a minute to put the two and two together that they're the same thing.
Exactly. So the pronunciation is Queenwah. Quinoa. So it says, although quinoa is new to the American market, it was a staple of the ancient Incas, who called it the mother grain. To this day, it's an important food in South American cuisine. Hailed as a super grain of the future, quinoa contains more protein than any other grain.
Wow, really? Huh.
And it's considered a complete protein because it contains all 8 essential amino acids.
Mm.
Quinoa is also higher in unsaturated fats and lower in carbohydrates than most grains, and it provides a rich and balanced source of vital nutrients.
Wow.
Tiny and bead-shaped, the ivory-colored quinoa cooks like rice, taking half the time of regular rice, and expands to 4 times its original volume.
Oh, wow.
Its flavor is delicate, almost bland, and has been compared to that of couscous.
Okay.
Quinoa is lighter, but can be used in any way suitable for rice, as part of a main dish, a side dish, in soups, in salads, and even in puddings. And it doesn't say in breakfast cereals, but it doesn't talk about the flakes, quinoa flakes. So it's available packaged as a grain, ground into flour, and in several forms of pasta. Quinoa can be found in natural food stores and some supermarkets.
Wow. Sounds like a superfood.
I know. I think it really became popular in the 90s when vegetarians were looking at, plant sources of protein, because quinoa is a plant source of protein.
Right.
But variety is the spice of life. So I wouldn't just rely on quinoa. A lot of people that I talk to don't actually like the texture and don't actually like quinoa. There's a lot of people that do not like quinoa.
Eating it as a rice substitute, though.
Right. Yeah.
It might be different as a breakfast cereal, like when the things you're combining it with, because our listener had suggested that she will include nuts and berries and cinnamon and other sort of toppings with it. So it's not just a bowl of raw quinoa.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. And with the quinoa flakes, it's faster cooking than the steel cut oats.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's faster cooking.
Because it's smaller, maybe.
Yeah. I think just exactly. The way that like the little individual flakes are probably more surface area too, because they do get more soggy when cooked.
Oh, okay.
They don't have the same kind of chewiness as oats.
Because there's no gluten in them.
Right?
Maybe.
There we go. Aren't you smart?
Hey.
See, you are a food scientist.
I'm here for a reason.
You don't realize it.
Yeah.
Because you always said, oh, chemistry, biochemistry, and like food science. I don't know anything about it. But you do know about it.
Well, I hear about it on the daily, so.
Well, you're funny.
Yes. Many, many years.
Yes. Yeah. So that might be, one reason that, it depends on the texture. Like if you like the chewy, hearty texture of oats, it's a little bit different than the quinoa flakes. The other thing you won't be getting with the quinoa flakes is as much as the fiber, the beta-glucan fiber that is really good for cholesterol and heart health. So that's a little bit different. And it is usually the oats are cheaper than the quinoa flakes in general. So there's a cost difference there too. Right.
Now, is there other ways to add fiber, like to get that, what did you call it, beta-glucan? Is that a specific kind of fiber that you can only get out of oats? Or can you get it from like your nuts and seeds and raisins and fruit?
So beta-glucan is found in cereal grains like barley, oats, sorghum, rye. It's also in mushrooms, seaweed, and brewer's yeast.
Oh, so you just got to add some seaweed to your quinoa breakfast and you'll be all set.
Exactly. That's funny.
Probably wouldn't be so bad if you kind of cut it up so it was like tiny little pieces. I'm half joking, but at the same time, I'm thinking about it, thinking you can probably get it in there without it really being like long, stringy bits.
What are you talking about?
Seaweed.
Into your oats?
In your breakfast.
Okay, that's going too far in my opinion.
Yeah, well, we don't see eye to eye on everything.
The beta-glucan is, I think we've talked about this before, but it's a soluble fiber, and it's found in the cell walls of certain plants, the ones I just mentioned. And it is responsible for many positive health effects. Because it moves slowly through your digestive tract. So that helps with stabilizing blood sugars and also reducing cholesterol absorption. So it helps with your heart health.
Okay. So should we be worried if we're not able to get it? Like our listener who's got celiac, she can't eat a lot of those foods that contain that. should she be like concerned that she's got to get it some other way, or is that, I mean, I guess through mushrooms and some of the other things you mentioned, the seaweed, he's load up on the seaweed and.
Well, everything in moderation.
Yeah. So a little bit of seaweed, not too much.
Well, yeah, the mushrooms are a good way. Rice has it also, maize.
Oh yeah.
Now rye also, but I believe
that's on the celiac.
Exactly.
That's
Remember, it was brow tea.
Tea. Yeah, yeah.
So what's the brow tea again? The ones that we
barley, rye, oats, wheat, and what's the tea again? It's
triticale.
Triticale, yeah.
Yeah, and those are a lot of the ones that have the beta glucan. Darn it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So seaweed it is. Yeah, those seaweed crackers are really good. You know, those like little, they're not crackers. They're like little dried seaweed.
Chips almost. Like,
yeah.
I know, they're like really fine. Yeah.
They look like they're coming in a cracker package.
Yeah.
They're really tasty.
Yeah. And you get a good level of iodine also, which that's another episode that we're going to talk about at some point. Just the fact that there's a link with thyroid health and iodine and not getting enough iodine. And a lot of people aren't using table salt anymore. And that was how the government fortified, like put more iodine in the food supply.
That was a source.
With the table salt. But people are avoiding salt and they're not using table salt.
Or they're using the fancy table salts, like
which don't have the iodine.
Ah, there you go.
And so, yeah, it is a whole other episode, but it's interesting because there is a lot of hypothyroid in society. A lot of people I talk to, a lot of people with health conditions. There's a lot of reasons for thyroid issues, but that could be part of it. Anyways.
And you said, so that you were saying that there's a lot of iodine in the like seaweed kind of products.
Anything from the ocean.
Oh, right. Of course. Mm-hmm. And sushi too. That's what they wrap the sushi in too, right?
Yeah, it's a different type of, and nori.
The green stuff that they.
We should do an episode on the different seaweed.
Yeah, we kind of are right now.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
I want to read this little thing about quinoa in the Looney Spoons collection.
Oh, fun.
Janet and Greta Podolsky wrote all the Looney Spoons. What?
Yeah.
This is what they said. If we were stranded on a desert island and could choose just one food to live on, it would definitely be quinoa. This recently rediscovered South American ancient grain is truly one of our all-time favorite foods, and we hope it'll soon become one of yours too. Though commonly referred to as a grain, quinoa is actually a seed of the goosefoot plant, a relative of leafy green vegetables like spinach. And Swiss chard. Once considered the gold of the Incas, Aztec warriors used quinoa to increase their stamina. It's no wonder quinoa is a nutritional powerhouse.
Oh, that's crazy.
It is twice the protein of brown rice and contains all 9 essential amino acids, nutritional building blocks that help form proteins and muscle and other tissue. Rare in the plant kingdom. That's why quinoa is winning the popularity contest among vegetarians and others who don't want to eat meat till the cows come home. All that protein plus tons of fiber make it a Waist Watcher's dream, a diabetic's dream, a cholesterol-lowering dream, and, well, a dream come true for anyone who wants to put the best possible fuel in their body. The tiny seeds can boost energy and also contain lots of magnesium that can help prevent high blood pressure and osteoporosis. As an added bonus, quinoa is gluten-free, ideal for those with celiac disease or other grain sensitivities. Wow.
Nice.
Yeah. So it actually, because there is fiber in quinoa, it just not the beta glucan fiber.
Right. And not as much fiber as in
the steel cut, if you're comparing
oats, them. Right.
Yeah.
But there's other ways to get fiber.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think we did an episode all about magnesium because I really want to talk about that too. Just the fact that it does relate to hearing loss and how much magnesium you have.
Really?
Yeah. And the sources of magnesium in our diet, like we know that 48% of Americans are not getting enough magnesium in their diet. And a lot of the sources are in the fiber sources of food. So If you think of, 95% of the North Americans do not get enough fiber in their diet.
Therefore,
it makes sense. They're not getting enough magnesium too.
Huh.
So, yeah. But anyways, that's another whole episode that we'll talk about.
Interesting. That's 2 now.
I know. Someone said, don't you ever run out of topics? But it's the opposite.
Yeah. Nope.
Every time we do an episode, we I think, formulate about
exponential.
3 or 4 more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what about when the listener asked about it being processed into flakes? Is that something she should be concerned about, that the whole processing?
No, it's fine. No.
Okay.
It's similar to like steel cut oats or rolled oats or instant oats are all really good. So I would not be concerned with that.
I think people, and this is another episode too, people they hear the word processed and they just think that it's
bad,
therefore it's unhealthy. But most food goes through some sort of processing before it hits your table. Mm-hmm. Even if you pick something out of your garden, you're still going to process it yourself. You're going to wash it. Maybe you're going to cut it into whatever shape you're going to eat it out of. And, so that's considered processing as well. So just because something is processed doesn't mean it's unhealthy. It's the ultra processed stuff where it's all the chemicals and crap are added to it that those are the ones we got to worry about.
Totally. And you can't even track it back to what the original food was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you think like gummy bears or something like that. Like what is that?
Yeah.
There's no, it doesn't come off a tree or anything.
And another way to think about it, if it's something that you can buy in a dry storage food place, that is going to be probably a whole food, even though it might have some processing, like the oats or the quinoa flakes. You could buy it in like a dry storage whole food. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Or like you think of dried legumes and beans, like those are whole foods that you need to process to eat them because your body can't deal with them in their form dried.
Right. Exactly.
Right. You'll get the lectins and all the, other issues. Your body can't actually get the nutrition out of them, and they could be harmful if you eat them that way. So it's important that you process them in a way that your body can actually break down the nutrition and absorb it, so that you can get the nutrients out of the food.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
Because it's not what you eat, it's what you absorb. And also what your gut bugs eat.
True.
So,
there you go.
So hopefully that will give some direction to Lisa, and hopefully that helps answer her question.
Yeah.
So in summary, with the quinoa flakes versus the oats, I think if you're celiac and you cannot have gluten, then it is definitely a good option for you for breakfast. Even if you don't have celiac and you want some variety with your breakfast, it's a great option.
Yeah, I want to try it.
I know.
It sounds like a great...
I know you will, too.
Well, if I can find them, I guess that's the problem. But health food store, I would guess, would have that sort of thing. So yeah, I'd be curious to try them because I like new things in the morning. And if they're quick to cook and they are super healthy, which they sound like they are...
And you can add them into baked goods. They actually do better in smoothies compared to oats.
Oh, yeah, because they're smaller.
Yeah, and they're more, they're just more delicate.
Right, and they don't have any gluten.
Right, that's right. So half a cup of quinoa flakes gives you about 5 to 6 grams of protein.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty good.
It is good.
How much quantity?
Half a cup.
Half a cup? That's not much. Like half a cup of dry?
Half a cup of cooked quinoa flakes.
Oh, cooked. Okay.
Actually, half a cup of cooked quinoa is between 4 and 6 grams of protein.
Wow, because I'd eat way more than half a cup.
For cooked. Yeah, right.
Well, not way more, I guess. Yeah, half a cup's a decent amount.
But you're right. I mean, it really does increase in volume with the water.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a great amount of protein for cereal, like a natural source of protein.
Yeah, and it is a way, like people do add it into as a protein booster.
You know, it's funny. This is a bit of an aside, but some of the cereals that, the big claim on the front of the cereal box, like 12 grams of protein or whatever, and you read the label and they have like 2 columns. They have one column of just the cereal dry, and it's got like 4 grams of protein in it. And then with milk, because milk has 8 grams of protein, with milk, it's 12 grams of protein. It's like, it's not the cereal that has the protein in it. I mean, it has a little bit, but it's pretty funny how they kind of twist that around to make it seem like this, super powerful cereal.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's a combination, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the quinoa, it's just the quinoa that has the protein in it. That's kind of my point.
Right.
It's not coming from the milk that you're adding to it.
Exactly.
Right. So there you go.
I don't know it depends on, I guess you could add milk to your
quinoa flakes. Yeah, you could have milk and then have 16 grams of protein in your cereal.
Right. If you're not lactose intolerant, or if you don't have any milk protein allergies or insensitivities. So, or you can use a plant-based milk alternative too. So lots of different ways, or yogurt too would be good.
Yeah.
So lots of different ways.
Endless options.
That should be maybe one of the, we do the newsletter, the weekly newsletter with different tips of the week, plus our veggie or fruit of the week, plus a recipe. And that could be a recipe if we go and buy the quinoa flakes and try them and have the different additions, like the nuts and seeds and berries. We can see how it tastes and let our subscribers know.
Yeah, we've got a growing list of things we're going to try at home and then add them to the recipes. We want to make sure they're good before we tell you to eat it. That's only fair, right?
Of course. Just like when you're making a cookbook, you kind of want to test it out
before
you get published, right?
Apparently this one's really good. Here, see what you think, but we've never done it ourselves. We want to make sure they're tasty. So I guess that's about it. Yeah. Well, thanks for coming out. Thanks for the question as well, Lisa. Like we said, we really appreciate you reaching out to us as you do and giving us these sometimes challenging questions. They make us think, which is great. We love that, and we got to do a little bit of homework for them, and it obviously helps other people too. You're not the only one, I'm sure, in that situation who's looking for options as a celiac. So. Yeah, we encourage everyone to reach out if you have questions, and or if you just want to say, "Hey, you guys, we like what you're doing with the show. Keep going. We're in your corner. We're loving what you're doing." That's we like hearing that stuff too. So, yeah, you can also review the show. That's another good way of letting us know how you are liking it, rating and reviewing. And if you want more information just about us in general, the show, what we're doing, all the different links we have, all that kind of stuff, you can come to our website. It's mywifethedietitian.com. And you can reach us through there as well with our email. It's mywifetherd@gmail.com. And you can sign up for the newsletter there as well. There should be a link on most of the pages there to join the newsletter. You can also find us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. You can reach out to us there. And, anything else, Sandra?
No, that's it. And there's another question that we'll be answering in our next episode from the same listener. So that's awesome. Thanks so much for sending those.
No doubt. Yeah, don't forget to share with your friends too. That's something else that's super helpful for us. If you find an episode you like, or you just like the whole podcast in general, let your friends know, because I'm sure they would appreciate it as well. So that is it for today. We will be back later in the week with another new episode. So until then, have a fantastic week. Thanks for joining us today on My Wife the Dietitian. If you like what you heard, don't be shy. Leave us a comment or review, and be sure to share our podcast with your friends. If you'd like to hear more, hit that subscribe button. You can also follow us on our social media pages for updates, episode trailers, and other odds and ends. For more info and links on what we discussed on today's episode, check the show notes. We'll be back next week with another informative and fun-filled episode.